All right, back on the Rob Dibble Show. Michael Johnson Jr., Nikki Nukes Federico.
God, I like that. That's got a good ring to it.
I know. We got to come up with some more. I mean, we got to get MJJ a nickname.
Oh, sure. I like nicknames.
But
any ideas?
Alex Green. We got to get Alex a nickname.
Yeah. I hope he's listening, too.
Yeah.
We're thinking Alex.
We love Alex.
We're thinking about Alex. You. His ears probably ringing.
I was feeling bad for you guys having to drive home from the event because I was 90 miles from home at Foxwoods.
Why'd you feel bad? You had a further drive.
Nah, but then you got to be in the van.
But you had your sweet ride, and I was driving old Bessie.
Old Bessie.
She handles great. I made it back in one piece. I tell you what, that thing. I don't even think it goes faster than 75. I try. I mean, it will, but I'm like, that thing, the entire thing starts shaking when you're downhill on route 2. I'm like, I'm going to be good coasting here.
I think you're going to have to see Tony at Tire Depot and talk to Randy, who's on the other side with Rick's Automotive. That's how they align the cars and they work on the cars and stuff like that. Just to check out the van, make sure it's kosher and safe.
Like, if you're ever pulled over in that thing, like,
I don't know
what do you
if
do?
it's street legal.
What do you do? I mean, it's just like, hey, I'd literally have to. I probably have to name drop. I'd be like,
hey, blame me.
No,
Rob
like,
Dibble made me drive this thing.
Like, ooh, or like I got another 40 minutes back to the station.
I'm good with the troopers.
They're like, what are you driving in? This thing is not safe at all.
Oh my goodness!
Luckily, it's got the branding on the outside now. I'm sure Rob remembers a couple of years back. It was pretty bad.
I liked it when it was just all blacked out because it was so scary, man. It was
nobody
like
would mess with it.
It was like a kidnapping van.
There was nicks and dents and scratches all over the thing.
Of course,
if we go even farther back to some of the other company cars, it bothered me that the kids were taking them on the highway and going 60.
Like legitimately.
Unsafe. And it had like 4 different tires on the truck. Right, Nick? I mean,
my last job had a van like that, so I'm used to kind of the.
No, but listen, I was raised. My dad was in radio for 50 years. My dad was news director, so he had a company car. But he always had like a really nice Jeep. And when the Cherokees came out, it's one of the best snow 4x4s back in the 70s.
Yeah.
My dad would go and pick up a lot of the on-air talent to get them to work in the morning because their cars, if anybody who grew up in the 70s here in Connecticut understands New England has some really nasty winters, and rear wheel drive vehicles like the van don't go well in the snow.
Yeah, that's going nowhere.
It's going nowhere in the snow.
It's going to camp out in the garage.
Yeah. And so my dad, and for older people like myself, you had to go to the front wheels, flip them from 2-wheel drive to 4-wheel drive. You hit a knob inside the wheel in the axle.
Old school.
And all of a sudden you're 4-wheel drive. And that thing was a tank. A foot of snow couldn't stop that Jeep Cherokee.
No.
No way.
No
way. It was a tank. It was wide. It was one of the first wheelbases that was really, really wide. And it was a tank. And I learned how to drive in that thing.
Yeah. Well, it's a good car to learn how to drive it.
Oh, yeah.
And handle it. Could go off-roading.
Here's another thing. Now that we're on the subject of cars, I don't think kids today can drive a stick. A manual drive. Do you know how to drive a stick?
I don't, unfortunately.
With a clutch?
No.
Same. I've done. My cousins had it. My cousin had like an old school Jetta that like it was a stick, and I would like. He'd shoot me like a while ago, briefly. Other than that, no. I'd love to learn.
But when you go to certain countries, they have all manual drive.
I'd love to. Yeah.
What are you going to do?
I know. I agree. We used to have a truck in my house. It was like a spare vehicle that had the big stick, but my dad sold it before I was, of age to drive.
It'd be fun to learn. I really want to learn it now that you'd say. Like, I just feel like it's so much more fun. It's just you have it easy. Like you're just switching.
Exactly.
Like,
now you're just really pressing buttons.
Yeah.
Most of the cars you don't even like. It was funny.
You have to put a key in the car.
Yeah, push the start now.
Just push the start button.
Or click the key fob.
What you're going to see in your lifetimes is going to be incredible. I think in 25 years, you might have flying cars.
Baby.
Didn't they say that like 50 years ago, though, in the Jetsons?
Dude, so much.
They're predicting the flying cars.
Yeah. Dude, I have seen cell phones invented. I've seen like laptops invented.
Cars that drive themselves.
Like even TVs. So now the flat. So I have a TV that I bought when I played. So it's 30 years old, and it was one of the original flat screen TVs. Still weighs a couple 100 pounds. It's heavy as hell. I mean, it's not. It takes 2 people to lift. And it's inside some furniture that I have from years ago. Anyway, long story short, the new TVs, you could get like a 85-inch or let's just say a 65-inch for like $400. This thing cost $4,000, and it was state of the art. It was a Pioneer Elite TV. It was, so you had your whole stereo system hooked up with all these big speakers and all this kind of
Pioneer Elite TV.
Pioneer Elite flat screen TV. Anyway, the things you're going to see in your lifetime is going to exceed anything I can even imagine. We used to have huge tubes.
There it is.
We used to have huge tubes in the TVs that weighed as much as a car.
Wow.
I mean, you needed 2-3 people to carry that thing out of your house when it finally blew up and you couldn't use it anymore. It was insane.
Big TV.
Oh, the TVs were insane how big they used to be.
It's like the couch that I just lifted back in my office.
Oh my God.
only heavier.
Well, but everything is lighter. Everything's aluminum now.
Yeah.
Everything's like carbon fiber.
You can, one person job. You can grab top and bottom
lighter
and
and stronger.
Yeah.
Is kind of like the stuff. So
Bigger,
it's going to be fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now you have TVs, you have flat screens you can put outside and they can be in the rain.
Yeah. Weather
and
resistant.
So you can watch your sports outside.
Yeah. Different generations, man.
I know.
We're at a spoiled. I always forget. I say millennial.
Gen Z.
Gen Z. Yeah.
Don't
Gen
date us
Z?
too much.
Gen Z.
Well, Michael thought he might be a millennial because he's 1 year older than myself.
It ends 96.
It's
so I was
Gen Z.
99. Yeah.
Wow. I'm not even telling you
What are you, Rob?
Oh my God.
Gen
Born in 64.
Gen Y? X?
Boomer?
Why? Because we love
Boomer?
I think I'm before the boomers. I think I'm from the dead ball era.
The boomers.
I'm from the dead ball era. I still can't figure out the different eras in baseball.
Yeah.
Forget the other stuff.
I remember the steroid era. That I remember.
Right now, the Angels with John Mozeliak are firing everybody and bringing in all ex-Cardinals employees. This is the thing that upsets me about baseball. There's so much of the loyalty thing where these guys bring all of their friends from another organization. So Mozeliak, who screwed up the Cardinals, is busy screwing up the Angels, and the Angels have been screwed up for the last 30 years, 40 years. Going back to the Albert Pujols deal for $240 million.
Yeah.
They haven't been right since.
No. It also
Anthony Rendon, that was a bad one. Josh Hamilton was a bad deal. That was $125. I was working for the Angels radio out there. I think it was Compass Media or something like that.
Sounds right. Yeah.
Or something like that. And so I did a couple of years of doing radio games for them. But listen, they had stars, but they were at the end of their careers. You got to get the stars when they're at the beginning of their careers.
Yeah. Well, Rendon is every time I hear that's one of the worst contracts in the history of the professional sports.
Absolutely.
It's like Kenny Galladay, Evan Fournier. These are just recent ones that come to. You'll remember some. There's a pitcher you always mention that was a really bad contract. Was it Kevin Brown?
Well, I don't want to say Pavano? Mike Hampton was a brutal one, but Mike Hampton was 121 with the Rockies.
Was Pavano was bad with the Yankees?
They say that, but Carl was hurt a lot.
That's part of it, I think.
So when you can't control injuries, but I mean, listen, there's been some bad trades. Eric Milton, 5 for 1. You got to Google that.
How about our Cowboys and Herschel Walker? Made out pretty good with that one.
The Cowboys made out great. I don't know about the Vikings.
No, Vikings didn't. It's not. Herschel Walker didn't do anything after that.
Which is a great segue into Quinlan. Is it Quinlan? Cowboys just signed him to a $105 million deal.
I like the move.
Damn.
Yeah.
I don't know.
How many years?
How are we giving an ex-Jet? I think it's 5 years. An ex-Jet $100 million.
Quinnan Williams. Look,
is it Quinnen?
Quinnen. Yeah.
Quinnen.
The D tackle we got from the yeah. Quinnen. Look, he's really good against the run. Dallas has not had consistent good D tackles in forever.
Right.
It seems not even. I like it. But you question Jerry Jones it's always an overpay. That's how Jerry Jones does it. I mean, they paid Zeke Elliott was getting $15 million before running backs even made $15 million for 6 years. That's just how Jerry does his business with Dallas. But look, Nick asked earlier, the Dallas Cowboys, it's all on the defensive side of the ball. Their offense is going to be completely fine. You have Pickens back. I don't expect Pickens to have the year he had last year, but CeeDee Lamb, Ferguson inked up to a nice deal. He's ready to go. He's been a safety net.
Okay, but you didn't want to pay Micah Parsons.
Of course not.
And so you had to trade for 2 defensive players to replace one.
To supplement.
I never understood Micah. I never understood that. I'm like, really, Jerry? Really?
Mike, because Jerry's ego was bruised.
Yeah.
when he's, I don't like to say holding out. Nobody's holding out. You're just negotiating. You're posturing.
They loved it.
He didn't like the posturing of the agent and Micah, and so he looked bad, and he started talking. And once he starts yapping, you know you're toast. I knew Micah wasn't going to get the money.
Laying on tables like Jerry. They take notes. They see this. The body language is key, and they're like, all right, if he doesn't want any part, I'm not going to. Petty, boom.
But I think it hurts a lot of the players. The players are like, if you're going to treat our best player on the team like that, and you could argue offensively it's CeeDee Lamb and Micah Parsons are your two best players, right?
Yeah.
If you're going to treat one of our best players like that, how are you going to treat me?
That's right.
You treat me like crap.
Yeah.
So I think that psychologically, a lot of the younger players were hurt, and so the Cowboys played like crap.
Well, their defense couldn't stop a nosebleed last year. I mean, Matt Eberflus, first of all, for one, I'm questioning because the dude got fired on Thanksgiving or the day after for one of the worst blunders you'll ever see for not calling a timeout late in the game.
And McCarthy was so good with clock management.
Oh, that and discipline. Good
luck, Steeler fans.
Yeah. Enjoy
the last 2 minutes of the half and the last 2 minutes of the game.
Penalties and having the worst clock management, like you said, probably in the history of the NFL. I know that's a bit of an exaggeration, but it's so bad. He made the clapper, Jason Garrett. That was the clapper too. That my favorite 8-8, like mediocre football is okay with Dallas. Yeah, we could do an entire show on how bad they are.
Absolutely.
Where do you guys realistically see them stacking up in the East?
He's feeding into
1 through 4.
8 to 10 wins.
I think Dallas can realistically get 10 wins and be a wild card team. Their defense, Caleb Downs, you're forgetting. People are forgetting Dallas got Caleb Downs. He's a stud.
And he's going to have some bad games.
Yeah, he will.
And
he's safety. He's going to get burnt.
You got to be realistic.
Yeah. 8 to 10 I like. 9 to 10 in that range, probably wild card.
Yeah.
I'd be surprised if they win the division over Philly. Nick?
Yeah, me too.
Let's go with the Giants. Forget the Cowboys for a second. Cowboys better be better than the Giants. Giants, 8-win team?
I think 8. I could even say I think the Giants can win it. You think it's lower?
Yeah,
John Harbaugh is good. I keep
it's okay,
but you think he's like 5 wins better than last year, 6 wins better than last year?
What did they finish with last year? 4?
They were.
Think about how many games they could have and should have won, and how bad they were. Shane Bowen, that Broncos game gave it away. I mean, gave that
4 and 13.
They should have had 7 wins last year. There were 3 games that they probably should have won. I think
I will
8's
give
not
you
crazy.
that, but the problem is that, especially NFL coaches, you've got to coach the last, you've got to try to have the ball at the end of the game.
Yeah, you want the ball. Yeah.
So, like in baseball, it's about rolling the lineup over and not letting the lineup roll over by the last 9 outs of a game. You have to outmanage the other manager the last 9 outs. This is where I hate Boone, because he's always getting outmanaged by other managers in the last 9 outs.
That's our experience the last decade.
So, when you look at the NFL, it's like, listen, okay, we can't allow them to have the. My God, if you give the Kansas City Chiefs and Mahomes the ball with 30 seconds left, even in a playoff game, he'll beat you.
Or 13 seconds, right? 13 against Buffalo.
So
don't bring that up to the Bills fans. That's all they need. That's all. Brady and these guys. He probably give him 15 to 30 seconds, 2 to 3 plays.
So you can't. So what I'm saying is, as the coach, you're like, I can't allow that guy to have the ball with 3 or 4 minutes left in the game. We have to control it.
Unless you've got the Steel Curtain or like the Legion of Boom Seattle, or maybe the Texans defense this year, who's going to be really good. You can't trust your defense that much. Late, something's going to happen. They're can
tired.
Throw a deep ball and get pass interference.
And depending on that you've had the ball a lot more than we have, and the defense has been out. They're going to be tired, and now they take advantage of that. If you have great runners, they run your defense into the ground. Now you could easily throw it. You've softened up the defense.
Well, it's like Dallas last year. Every game was 45-40 because Dak and the offense felt they had to score every time, because Dallas' defense is going to give up a touchdown.
When it's porous, it's not good.
No, it's not.
But you have to understand, they're humans. They're going to get tired. So how do we keep them from getting tired? When we have the lead in the second half, we run the ball down your throat.
Yeah.
And we hold on to the ball. My God, we could be talking about Uconn football. This is what we did well the last couple of years. We held on to the ball in the second half with the lead, and we won a lot of games that way.
Jim Mora, NFL coaching experience, I think, comes into play here. That's why there's unknown, I think, a little bit of uncertainty with Jason Candle in this squad. But he had a good resume with Toledo. He brings over a lot of guys.
And once again, he's going to have some hiccups, but we got to kind of go with it. It's
builds up the program.
I've lived through the Bob Diaco years. And Morris, it was hard to get recruiting here.
Yeah.
It's hard to recruit here. If we could get the same kind of production in the next 5 years out of Uconn football, I'll be very happy.
The bar has been raised. I mean, back-to-back 9-win seasons. I mean, I know I wasn't here, but did the research in bowl games. Hey, that's for here for UConn. I mean, we know basketball's a separate entity. It's pro teams basically here. That goes without saying. But for football to build on that, look at the schedule: 7 home games. Belichick coming to town in November.
You heard what Donnie Marshall said. He said, listen, if the football can get up to snuff, or was it Danielle, if they can get up to snuff with the basketball. And he was one of the first people that said exactly what I say. The women and men's basketball program, those are 2 pro teams
Those
for us.
are your pro teams.
Those are our pro teams. And they're followed the
Championships.
way you follow a pro team. It's UConn Nation.
They're held to that standard.
Yeah,
too.
right.
And they operate that way.
That's why I get so annoyed, just to get into this real quick, and I know we have the Hartford Athletic guy. We have to be better fans, meaning when Kansas comes to play the men at Gamble, we have to be so awful to the Kansas team, like their fans would be to us.
Yeah.
Like going to
Any
play.
suggestions? And I
Like going to Creighton,
Radio
when we go to Creighton, or we go to St. John's, or we go to years ago Georgetown or
Marquette,
Syracuse,
whoever.
we have to have the home court advantage, playing a tough schedule like Hurley has done for this year. It's going to be tough.
Oh, Hurley loves it when UConn fans
and so
are
does
going
Gino.
crazy on the set. That's
Don't
what you want.
sit on your hands.
Yeah.
Give your tickets to some young bloods.
Yeah.
Get them in there.
rowdy.
Like, you two
rowdy.
should be in there going crazy, dollar
Yeah.
beers, and absolutely no shirts on.
All right, Nick.
Fenway has adopted the no shirt tradition of when you're winning at the end of a game, take your shirts off. I dig that.
Let's get Nick out there.
I'm not going to do it, but
Nicky
you young
Nukes,
bloods should do
half-court
it.
shot for the win.
Yeah.
Halftime?
Never know. Paint my face. They do.
Oh, absolutely.
One thing they
Put a
do
husky
real
on your
quick
head.
before we go to break, I do like they
Huskies.
do the newspaper trick. You've seen that
Yes.
at Gamble. They all take out the student section, all takes out
Yeah.
newspapers, and
They're
pretends
bored.
like they're not
You're boring,
watching.
right.
Yeah, that's a good one.
You're boring. That
It's
is a good
clever.
one.
It's clever. Yeah. We need more of that. I'd be glad to. I can't wait to experience it, for one.
You're
But
gonna
then
love it.
I'm going to watch take the first few games in and see what the crowd's
Women's
doing.
basketball, we have a lot of gray-haired fans, so we've got or blue hair, whatever, and they're not coloring their hair blue for the UConn women.
Yeah, right.